Hello and welcome to all in India Now. This is the interview segment of this show. Today, we are interviewing a person who is a student and a photographer. Hi, Mayank. How are you?
Hey man, I'm doing good. I'm having a fair day today.
Thank you, Mayank, for giving us your precious time. Like you came out as a savior for me. So, Mayank, tell me about yourself. Something like interesting.
So currently I'm pursuing BTech and I handle the photography society at my college. This is the basic part. Out of this, I firmly believe in the quote that states everyone you will ever meet knows something you don't. And I currently work on two social causes. I'm currently in a sex education society and an LGBTQ plus society where we try to create safe space for everybody out there. That's the basic deal for now.
Thank you, Mayank. So, Mayank, since you told that you are a student and you are a photographer as well. So these two things involves a lot of commitment and dedication. So how, as a person, how you are managing these two different things?
So basically, I had a very clear idea. I started photography at the age of 15. Back then, I was not indulged in BTech and stuff. If I wanted to make it a career option as a proper profession, I would have continued to do it instead of pursuing these education for now. So creating a balance between both is very important. As I want to go into coding, so I have to study all that as well while doing freelance work. I am currently indulged in freelance work. So what I do is on the weekends, I try to do this work, and on weekdays, I'm indulged in my education part.
Okay. So it seems like it involves a lot of dedication to
Kind of.
carry forward these two things. But yeah, okay. So my third question to you is, for like everyone sees a photographer in himself, so they continue it as a passion, as an interest. But there are some other people who wants to make it as a career option. So do you think this photography has a sustainable future in one's, or like it can give a bright future? What are your views on this?
Of course, I think photography is something that can pay you well if you are doing it on a good scale. Like if you are just a random photographer, like opening your own studio and clicking all those studio pictures, the passport size pictures, that's not something sustainable. That's gonna die someday. People have their own cameras nowadays. So they click their images and then they get printed by themselves. So yeah, somewhere down the line, that kind of business model is dying. But if you are a freelance person and you're working for certain brands which are evolving these days, on small projects, they pay you really well. So yes, I personally believe that it's a sustainable model, but again, you need to invest a lot of money and time into it to make it sustainable.
Right. Since you told you need a lot of dedication and like it can't be done hand to hand. It should be like as I am using the term dedication. There should be there. So okay, my next question to you is: I'm a journalism student, and photography is an essential part of journalism.
Of course.
Yeah. So, what do you think this photojournalism thing? How do you see this photojournalism? Like photography is a thing, but photojournalism is different term. So, what are your views on this?
I'm not really sure about this particular thing. I will have to think about it. Can you repeat the question once?
I mean,
Photojournalism you are asking.
yeah,
How do I think about it?
like comparing using photography as a part of journalism.
Okay, right. Of course, documentation and everything is now being done based on videos. And
Right.
Back in time, they used to have paintings. Like I went to Nagma recently, and over there I saw last 3 years of paintings, how they evolved, and those things showed history. But now, since we have evolved in time, now I think images can play a much better role. They are more detailed, more convincing, more pleasing to people's eyes, more clear. And that way, images are going to be the records of the future. What people are going to see in the future is what we are making right now, and what we are making right now can be captured by images.
Right. My next question to you is: what do you think? Like in a society, in this world, there is culture, there is heritage. So how does photography play its role with these two terms?
Culture and heritage.
Preserving them.
Of course, we are recording and maintaining things, right? So preserving different cultures, although I think the backward classes, not the backward classes, the minority classes, I should say, are becoming more extinct and invisible nowadays. Old culture is fading away with modernization. But now it's very hard to continue those practices. But in the form of images, we can capture and save those things.
Okay. So how do you see photography as a storytelling concept?
As a storytelling thing, it can tell you about different timelines, how things went from phase 1 to phase 5. That way, it is something.
Yeah. Do you agree that photography also plays an important role in history? Because right now, to see things, to investigate the past, the archaeologist, or like every person sees photographers as an essential tool. So do you think photography plays an important role there as well?
In terms of history, photography came into play very recently, let's say, to make it something related to history. That is what I personally feel. So yeah, painting is something that has been there for a longer while. Those things show us a better perspective than photography, because it's like 100 years or something since photography came in. No, more than 100, but still, it's a very limited amount of time.
Okay.
And sculptures and those tribal paintings have been there for very long.
Hmm.
So I don't think that photography is something that is helping us out with history right now.
So in the past, we see that painting and the sculpting, all these things were dominant. But right now, we don't see it very oftenly. We don't see it over here.
Yes.
So do you think this
Now,
photography for this culture?
sorry, can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear it.
I'm saying that you said the thing that in the past they were the people did paintings to preserve their history, their culture. They did sculpting. But right now, these things are not seen very often. These are seen like foregone things. So do you think that photography is taking over that culture? Like
Yes, of course, photography is taking over all those things now. So those old paintings will fade away. But if we capture those old paintings in terms of photographs, then they're gonna stay for a longer while. And digital memory, they are gonna stay for like forever.
So, Mac, any special comments for the budding photographers who see themselves a good storyteller?
For
Any
sure,
comments?
man.
Any suggestions to them?
Keep it as a passion, even if you are doing it for money, but you should have a space for it in your heart. That is something you really need. When you're working in something, you need to have your whole heart into it and not just for money. That's it.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, man, for giving us your time. That was all for this segment. Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned for more updates.